Thank you guys for watching this video. I know it's going to be a really long video, so I have broken down into first part and the second part. I could have just continued with making the part 2, but part 2 story doesn't really make sense without me introducing my background, so I have broken down into two parts where my first video will be talking about my background and the second video would be talking about my actual coming out story. Enjoy. I feel like it's about time, it should be about time that I feel more easy to say that I am gay and be easy to come out to them, but it's really not the case. It's difficult every time I do it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This video will be talking about my coming out story as well as my background information. So it will be really deep and emotional video. Some might say it's cliche to be doing coming out videos so fast and so early, as other gay YouTubers have also done coming out videos as one of their first contents. But I feel like I can't make any other videos if I don't go through this video first, because this is how my life begins. I struggled a lot to make this video. I had to stop recording many times. And even after finishing the recording, I couldn't edit for a while. I struggled a lot to upload the video, and I'll tell you why. I first want to start off by saying coming out never ends, is what I've learned. I have came out to a lot of my friends, a lot of my coworkers, but then every next day I will get a different person, different people, new people coming up to me and ask, what is your sexual orientation? What are you? And I have to tell all those new people again and again that I'm gay. I feel like it's about time, it should be about time that I feel more easy to say that I'm gay and be easy to come out to them, but it's really not the case. It's difficult every time I do it. Because I'm scared that something might happen. I grew up in LA all my life, so people might think that LA will be easier to come out than other cities. But I want to tell people, to you guys, that LA is no different. Just because you're living in West Hollywood doesn't mean you would be easier to be yourself. I mean, for sure, yes, you would be able to be surrounded by more friendly people, but it's just another city, and human beings are all the same wherever you go. If you guys haven't watched my first video, which is the introduction, go watch that. And as I've said in that video, I am a Korean American, so it was more rough for me to come out, as Koreans are very conservative, still is conservative, and I think they will always be conservative, especially the older generation people. I didn't grow up in a healthy background. My family had split it up when I was young. So my sister and my mom lived in South Korea, and I came to the United States with my dad. I already lost half of my family, and I only had my dad to rely on, but he was never around. And what I mean by that, I literally mean it. At the age of 3, I came to the United States, and I was raised by my grandmother, who was ill. She was not capable of taking care of me, but she did it anyway because my dad had refused to take care of me. My dad is an alcoholic, cigarette addiction, and has a very bad gambling addiction. His life has always been full of lies, and every day would be a disastrous day with debt collectors following us everywhere and anywhere. It was the reason why my mom decided to leave. If anything, me being out of the family was uncalculated, as she did not want to lose her second son again. I had an older brother who had a leukemia, passed away because he had found his cancer at a very young age. I was told he was not too old, maybe 3 years old. It was before I was born, but it was also a time where leukemia was really hard to be cured, and even then would require a lot of financial responsibility. My dad would be going around gambling with the money that should have been spent on a hospital for my dead brother, and his excuse would be, it's the only way to earn money for my son. But what would actually happen is he would lose everything, and on top of that, sell remaining or whatever he could find and touch at home, including the very apartment that they lived in. That's a little story about my dad and how I was left at the hands of my grandma. She was only able to take care of me for a couple of years. I'm not exactly sure how long, as it was a long time ago. but I recall it being somewhere between until I was 4th grade or 5th grade. And then I was tossed into the hands of my uncle. Why uncle? My dad had refused to take care of me again. So I was left at the hands of my uncle, and I had to live with them. They told me I was part of the family, but even at a young age, I was able to tell they were not really welcoming me, and I had to try my very best to not get on their nerves because I was afraid, scared that they would also abandon me. Whenever my teachers in school asked what's the biggest fear in my life, my answer for them was I didn't want to be abandoned by anyone anymore. They wouldn't understand what I said back then, as I've never talked about my family background because I didn't want to look different, be different. But it happened eventually because lies don't work in this world. After the fact that I was alone was exposed to people surrounding us and my uncle family, they had struggled to take care of me and decided to also let go of me. And that's when I finally became alone. There's some story that I've skipped in between, and I want to explain. I came here at the age of 3, lived here for a couple years with my dad and my first stepmom. I think I lived here for 2 years, and then he had abandoned me to Korea. At the age of 5, I took the airplane alone. And I can remember clearly what exactly happened that day. It was a very, very cold and dark night. And it was during winter time. I was sent to Korea alone, sitting alone, all alone in a plane, without knowing what is exactly happening. And the next thing I noticed is I was at the airport in Korea, standing all alone for 2 days without noticing anyone familiar. I couldn't reach contact to anyone as I had no contact information of anyone. My mom and my sister had been cut off from our contact line as my dad's side family did not like her. I don't know the full detail of why they did not like her or what exactly happened, as everyone's story that I've heard so far is different, so I decided I'm not gonna care. I'm not gonna try to figure out what exactly happened because it's already happened in the past and there's nothing changing it. But the story is that after 2 days of waiting at the airport, my grandma finally came to my rescue because nobody would pick me up. And that's when I lived with her for a couple years. She passed away in Korea, so my relatives who were living in Korea, which is my uncle, took care of me for another couple years until I was 6th grade. At the end of 6th grade, I was sent back to America. And that's when I started living alone. So at the age of 14, I started working part-time job because I had to. I had to survive, and it was my natural surviving instinct that made me go start working without a second thought. So my life was a repetitive cycle of work, school, work, school, work, school for the next 10 years, which is until today. I wasn't able to go to any of high school parties, grad nights, or any of the fun activities that people do in their normal teenage moments because I couldn't afford to miss a day of work because I had to survive. And it is the reason why I couldn't come out to people because Koreans are very conservative and I couldn't afford to tell them I was gay because I knew they would tell me, you cannot work with me anymore. And that would mean that I would be jobless and potentially homeless. I ended up coming out to my dad and my stepmom, who was never around, because I didn't want them in my life anymore. It was my way of abandoning those people who had abandoned me in the first place. I didn't want them in my life anymore as they were causing enough stress and pain for me, and I did not want to be part of the pain anymore. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys like this video, please give me a like button on the below, somewhere down here. And if you guys would want more videos, please click that subscription button so you guys will get notified once my next video will be uploaded. I'm still working on many different kind of content, so I don't know exactly what my next video will be, but I will come back with not too depressing story. Something more joyful event that I could share with you guys. Stay tuned. I'll be soon.